Hello, everybody. Today we have a guest, Nancy Arenas, and I tell you a little bit about Nancy. Nearly 3.5 years ago, a conversation with an old college friend changed the direction of Nancy's Arenas' life. Over the course of an afternoon, her friend detailed the difference between his vegan lifestyle and Nancy's vegetarian experience. And encouraged by his compassion for animals, his concern for a planet, and his devotion to vegan existence, Nancy knew in her heart that the moment was right for change. Since that conversation, Nancy has lived each day as dedicated vegan with the goal of creating a more passionate, animal-friendly world. Nancy organized the 2016 Red and Green Vegfest. The event's theme was Eat Without Violence. Seeking to raise awareness about eating toxin-free, do not harm food, foster compassion for animals, and advocate for healing the planet. In addition to her passion for a vegan lifestyle, Nancy has a diverse array of interests. She has devoted herself to dance and movement, founding Dancing with the Bars, a class focusing on fitness and serenity, and hosting fusion tea dances to encourage dance and lifetime activity. Over the last 7 years, Miss Arenas has performed over 70 weddings and other ceremonies as non-denominational minister in the Heart and Soul Church of Movement for the Body, Mind, and Soul. Wonderful. Nancy is also an internationally published author whose many titles include a vegan children's book, What Does Vegan Mean? She also published the e-magazine New Mexico Vegan, which recently celebrated its first year of publishing. She lives in Albuquerque with her furry friend, Arvin. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, how are you today?
Oh, we're very happy to have you today. And how are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm a little bit chaotic because I am getting ready for my third Red and Green Vegfest in Albuquerque on this Saturday. So we had our first one, and our theme was Eat Without Violence. Then we had our second one, which was Compassion, which is Love in Action. And this year, we're celebrating the third one with the theme, Be the Hero the World Needs.
That's amazing. That I'm amazed by your activity and being engaged in this wonderful movement. I have few questions for you.
Okay.
And the one of the question is, what was one of your most defining moments in life?
So that moment that you were expressing and sharing about visiting my friend and he explaining to me the difference between my vegetarian choice of life and his vegan lifestyle. And at that moment, I finally made that connection, which I had not made before. about the animals and their suffering. And right then and there, I just knew that I was going to be vegan and there was no turning back. And that I also had a lot to make up for because of not being vegan before that. So that's why I do so many activities, I guess. I'm trying to give back for what I took already and trying to educate, engage, inform, and inspire people to be vegan and to make that connection for the animals, the planet, and of course, your health.
Yeah. It's life changing, isn't it? Like on a soul level.
Yes, it is. And I have to tell you that when I went vegan, a month after I went vegan, I no longer have fibromyalgia, which plagued me for years. I was living in pain every day and just judging day to day whether my pain was level 1 or level 10, level 9. And all of a sudden, exactly a month after I went vegan, I woke up and I had no pain. I never experienced that before. So I was like, I'm not feeling pain. So it was awesome. So I think that because I was kind to the animals, that the universe returned the favor to me. And I didn't even expect that because I went vegan for the animals. And so it was wonderful.
You felt it on your body right away.
Yes, 30 days, like I said, 30 days. It was like my body took 30 days to get rid of all this toxic stuff that was in my body. And 30 days, fibromyalgia gone. I used to have swelling in my joints.
Yeah, tell
And
us a little bit
it
more.
ended.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about your feelings in your body. What you read of?
So I got rid of the fibromyalgia, which, is very painful, and it's a very debilitating illness because there's really not a lot that they can do for it. I mean, they could give you medicine, but, because it's the nerve endings that are always active. So you're in pain. A touch, something just as simple as somebody brushing up to you can cause so much discomfort to you. And that went away. Then, of course, the joint swelling in in my wrist, in my elbows, in my knees, in my shoulders, it was gone. And migraines, I used to experience a lot of migraines every day, and they were just all gone. So I'm free. I'm just free and happy to be vegan.
Wonderful. So, and what is I guess your life is changed, and of course, your goals probably changed. Tell us a little bit more. How does it affect your goals and your lifestyle? I mean, your goals and what you're up to right now. How it changed your life?
Okay. So my goals are set by the fact that when I look around and I talk to people, they don't know about veganism. They don't know that it's not just a vegan diet. There's a lot of aspects to veganism, but even the fact that people can get easy access to this information is terrible, because I have people who always ask me, so, what about this? What about that? So so what I've tried to do now is I do events in the community, free of charge, just to get out into the public and give them information so that they can themselves look at this information and research it further and just try it. All I ask them is to just try it, and they'll see that their body will talk to them and will say, what were you waiting for? Why didn't you do this sooner?
Wow. Um, and tell us a little bit more about events you're doing. Like,
Okay.
so what? Mhm.
Okay, so this past year, for example, I did a movie series at our senior community center of movies like What the Health, Forks Over Knife, so that people would come and they would look at it and, and see and find out some more information. And the people that did come and show up to look at it, they were very concerned about things that they had not heard of before or did not know before. Then, of course, I've also been doing presentations, and introduction to vegan food. Again, presentation about veganism, brought in vegan food, worked with vegan outreach to do some vegan food there and let them know that vegan food tastes delicious, because that's another thing that happens. People make these jokes, oh, vegan food, yuck, and really, vegan food is delicious. I don't know what they're talking about. It should be turned back around to them because they're eating rotting flesh. I mean, that's horrible. But so I do that. And now I started doing, I do the electronic magazine, New Mexico Vegan. It's on the ESU platform, and it comes out every 2 months, and it just has information about veganism and, of course, some things about New Mexico and the people that are doing things here in New Mexico with veganism. And I do the Red and Green Vegfest, as I said. So I bring in speakers to come and they talk. We have had Dr. Carolyn Trapp from Physicians Committee on Responsible Medicine. We had William Brown from the Al Gore's Climate Change. So we had a professional chef from Jean Christian Jury from Germany who came last year, and another young lady, Kiana Broden, who's a chef in Michigan. And they've come and they've just been so gracious about donating their time and their efforts, because they say it's so important to get this message out, that they have come, because basically I fund this personally, and I'm not rich, I don't have whatever, but I just think it's that important. And, and I want people to be healthy, and I want the planet to heal, because I have a grandson and I'd like him to see this earth the way we're seeing it now. And also the animals. I mean, it just breaks my heart. And, I have to hold back tears pretty much daily about the suffering and how come I can't just make it go away faster than what it's happening.
Yeah, that's true, which is when people start to realize how much pain they support, they will stop. They just don't want to see it. They don't want to think about this. But it's so much easier to leave when you accept that.
Right. And I want women, especially, I think it's so important for women to step forward and be who they are. They're healers, they're caretakers, they are brilliant and powerful. And I believe it's time for there to be more feminism in the world. And I think that veganism is a feminist action as well, because just like in real life, how women are second class, even though people don't want to think so, it's still true. I mean, we don't get equal pay. You know how women get bullied and stuff like that. And I think that happens in the animal world. And most of the animals that are abused are female. So it transcends, and it's again abusing the female. And we should be loving the female. Females are compassionate. I'm not saying that men are not, but I'm just saying that, the woman gives life, the women should cherish life, and the women should protect all life. And all mothers love their children, whether they're human or non-human. You've seen videos, I'm sure, where a calf is taken away from a cow mother and they cry, and she cries for a week or 2 weeks just looking for her baby, or chases after the baby. It's just very heartbreaking. And I just can't understand why people don't make that connection. Why is it so hard for them to make that connection? And I think it's not really anybody's fault. It's just the way we've been conditioned. But now is the time to say, hey, now I know, let's change this. Let's get out of that box that we've been put into, and let's not go with the saying that's the way it's always been, because that's a terrible saying. and let's evolve. Let's show compassion for everybody.
Now, since you mentioned that you have a grandchild, and tell us please about your book for children. I think it's very, very important to start to tell our children and bring it up so they understand how what is life is about.
Right. And I believe that too. And that's why I think it's very important for women to step up and show their children, boys and girls, how we're all equal. We're all interconnected. The children already have it in them. So please don't take away their compassion, because if you have a child in the presence of animals, they want to kiss them, they want to hug them, they want to protect them, they want to love them. And somewhere at some age, we take that away from them, just like it was taken away from us. So I'm hoping that we can stop that and we could let them continue that love and that connection that they have, not only with the animals, but everything around them. You know, we shouldn't suppress that from them, take it away from them. We should want our children to be better than we are. And I totally agree with that. So the book is called What Does Vegan Mean? And exactly because of that, I think that children need to have books that also are for vegan kids who need support, so that they know that they are doing the right thing, and it's not just looking at all these books and all these films that have nothing but suffering attached to them. And because of that as well, I just also started publishing in January my 1, 2, 3 Vegan Kids magazine as well. And it's gotten a lot of good reviews. So I'm glad about that. And it's about that, supporting kids who are vegan, and for them to have a magazine of their own, for them to have their own information, and to know that there are other kids out there who are vegan as well as they are. They're not an oddball out. They should be what our norm is.
Can you please tell us how to find your magazine? And also for everybody, we put the information below the video. So, but I like you to say it for us.
Okay. So I guess if you go on, ISSU is a platform, issuu.com is a electronic publishing platform for electronic magazines. And if you search New Mexico Vegan or 1, 2, 3 Vegan Kids, you will have that publication pop up. And all the publications that's been there. The New Mexico Vegan is now into its 4th year.
Yes, wonderful. Good job.
And we've had articles by Dr. Michael Greger, by Dr. Will Tuttle. So there's been, you know, an array of different people who have been contributing to the magazine as well.
That's beautiful. And tell us, please, your dreams and what your hopes, and tell us more about your future, how you envision your future.
My hopes and my dreams are that we are able to spread like wildfire and this veganism message, because after all, veganism is a message of love and compassion. And who doesn't want that? I mean, when you're against veganism, you are for violence. When you're against veganism, you're for discrimination. So, and people need to make that connection. So my goals and hopes is to be able to spread the information about veganism, all aspects of it, and hope that people will at least get a little seed in them that sprouts and they become vegan, you know, because they go and they research and they see that this is the way that we really need to be. We can't force anybody to do things that they can't do, but we surely can give them information that they could themselves look at and review for themselves. But if they have no information and nobody's giving it to them, then they can't make any change whatsoever. So I see myself hopefully just advocating for veganism 24/7, 365. Just want to do it. I also, here in the community, I'm working with natural grocers, I didn't tell you, and doing a free cooking class, easy peasy vegan cooking. And we have gotten a lot of people who come because they're interested in plant-based diet, and again, don't know where else to turn. And so we're filling a hole that's there. And I hope that people everywhere throughout the states, throughout the universe, understand that they can do whatever it is that they can do. Sign a petition, talk about it, whatever it is that their gift that they have, that they should just go forward and just give the gift, the gift that they can do, because everybody has a different gift. You do this video interviews. I produce a magazine. Somebody else might just be able to sign petitions or help at some sanctuary. Whatever it is, whatever gift you have, use it. It's all important. It's all necessary. And everyone is important.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
am so excited to get to know you, and I am glad you found your valuable time to be with us and share your story and share your inspiring movement there in Albuquerque. And for everybody, we bring your awareness here to become a just human being, just become open to life, and it's ingrained in our hearts.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing also that I know is that health-wise, not only is the dairy and the meat not good for you health-wise, but soul-wise, you are taking into your body the flesh of a tortured soul. You are taking in suffering, you're taking in torture, and you're putting that into your body, which is not good. You know how they say when you're stressed out, how it affects you? Well, imagine you're taking the stress and the fear and the torture that is instilled in these animals and feeding it to yourself. And that is just not only health-wise, but soul-wise. It's just not the right thing to do, in my opinion.
We are much more than just for food. We
Right.
live, we eat to, we're supposed to eat to live, not
Right.
live to eat.
Exactly. And that's what people do. They live to eat. And they eat the wrong stuff. So that's too bad.
But it's okay. It's not that hard to switch in when you start to understand how important it is for a planet, for your body, for our kids, for our future, for future our kids' future. Then it's
Right.
much easier.
Right. Especially when you have things like we are at a time where we have to make a decision. And if we don't make the right decision, which is living on a plant-based diet, we're going to kill the world. Not only that, but we're going to kill ourselves. And if you have, like I said, maybe there's a little selfishness in me in wanting to advocate more and more about veganism because my 6-year-old grandson will not be able to see the world that we're seeing. And experts are saying that this will be the first time that grandkids, children and grandkids, will not outlive their parents. How sad is that?
Because of the diet, because
Because
what
of their
they
diet.
eat.
Yes. So it's time to get all those cobwebs that has been instilled in us about what the norm is, and just, open up your mind, open up your heart, and start a dialogue, start looking, and realize what we're trying to express. We're not trying to take anything away from anyone. We're trying to give you life. We're trying to bring back your compassion. We're trying to help heal the world. So we're not trying to take away anything. And, you know, once you go on a plant-based diet, you get so much more things to eat, because usually people who are eating, you know, animal flesh, they, you know, they got meat and potatoes or whatever. They got just these three things, you know, these little common things that they eat over and over again. And now, since I became vegan, there's just so much food out there that I had not experienced before. And it's so tasty and so good. And it just makes you feel good.
Yeah, tell us more about benefits.
Benefits. So it's good for your heart. It's good for diabetes. It's good for Alzheimer's. And I'm not a doctor, but you don't have to take my word for it. You could go to nutritionalfacts.org. You could go to Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, where you will find the reports from doctors, researchers, and scientists of what I'm trying to share.
Thank you so much for your time, Nancy. Everybody, if you need support, please, Nancy Arenas.
I'm right here.
Yes. Reach out. Information will be below the video, and you can find a lot of support. And any tips you need, not from a doctor, from just a normal us. So
Right.
please reach out and change your life. Thank
Do
you.
it.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.